One morning, Anabia was sitting at the window, watching outside into the garden and also the bustling city beyond the garden. Although everything was so perfect, the weather was so pleasant, the trees, the flowers, the vibrant colors that they displayed, and of course the bustling city, the busyness that it was showing to her, nothing really created any difference in her because she was so drowned in her own thoughts. She felt like she was knocked down and had nothing but to just think about all the miseries, all the sorrow that she had been faced, and all the battles she has been fighting throughout her life. She was very depressed, sad in her own thoughts, and she always felt like she is the victim of the situations that she is facing. She always felt that nothing was in her control and she could not do anything other than showing the kind of pity towards her. So that day she was just sitting and as I said, drowned in the deep thoughts which were so sad and was not allowing her to enjoy anything that was so pleasant around her. Like this, many days went by, weeks and months, and she was still not able to recover from all the things that she was facing. She had given up in her mind, and she had made this character of herself in her mind who was a victim, who was completely fragile, helpless. One dreary afternoon, as usual, she was sitting by the window, and then she noticed a small, cute sparrow sitting on the branch of a tree in her own garden. And it was quite cold that day, on the verge of snowing, and she started noticing that particular sparrow. She thought, since the weather was not pleasant at all, it would not allow the sparrow to sit there for any longer, and the sparrow would just fly away and seek for a better place. And when she was constantly noticing that sparrow literally surprised her, because the sparrow did not fly away. Rather, the sparrow sat on the very same branch and started singing. Initially, the song of the sparrow was kind of hesitant, but then slowly and gradually the voice became stronger, but the song and the vibes of that particular sparrow remained very pleasant and peaceful. And she started enjoying the kind of sweet melody that the sparrow was offering that afternoon to the garden. But then, as she was noticing that sparrow, something really struck to her mind. She first thought that this sparrow was just like her, completely fragile and helpless because of the external conditions it had. And the moment it chose to start singing rather than feeling or giving up on the situation or the environment that it was in, it started singing, and that really made her think about her own life. Anabia thought that I am in the same position, very similar position as that of the sparrow, because my situation, my circumstances are such that they are not allowing me, they're kind of defeating me in every step, every phase. And here I am, so helpless, feeling like a victim. But then when she started noticing how the sparrow did not give up for the situation that it was in, but rather chose to sit there and sing and just be happy, relaxed and peaceful, that really made her think that she needs to change the story that she is narrating about herself in her mind. And that was it. That was a kind of the moment in her life. And she started many changes in her daily routine. From the very next day, she started going for a walk. Then she also started doing her morning chores in a more interesting and mindful way. And she kept telling herself that all these external situations, be it any situation that is really, kind of bringing her down, cannot define her life. Her life is much beautiful and more meaningful than this. And the only thing that she had to do was to create that kind of hero of her own self in her story and not the victim. She realized that she needs to consider herself as a survivor, as a warrior, rather than a victim that she always thought. And that really changed her perspective and her mindset. Thereafter, she started taking all the challenges in her life in the most positive way, and she fought each and every challenge head on. And that really changed Anabia's life. I'm sure the story was quite relatable, right? Many a times we make our own stories in our mind wherein we are projecting ourselves like some victim and not the survivor, and that is kind of a something that we are kind of doing the damage to ourselves, right? I hope you like today's story. Hi, I'm Vaishnavi, and my channel is called Motivation Matrix. And as the channel name suggests, it's all about motivation. I come up with contents that talk a lot about motivation because I myself need a lot of motivation every single day. So, yeah, this is my channel, and this is my way of bringing that motivation in myself and also sharing it with all you beautiful people. If you like such kind of content and you're new to my channel, then please do consider to subscribe to my channel. And if you're already a part of this beautiful community, then please welcome back. So, talking about the story, I find one thing that was really, worth mentioning, and that is it was the way Anabia had set things in her own mind that made her feel depressed initially, and it was also her own capacity to think in the other way that made her more jovial and could actually carry on her life in a much better way. So what do we understand by all these things? It's simple. It's all the mindset. It's all the kind of story that we are narrating to ourselves about our own lives. Mind is very tricky, especially when it comes to the role of the subconscious mind. The way you train your subconscious mind is the way you are going to reap the fruits in your life. Be it manifestation, visualization, whatever you want to do in your life, it all starts with your subconscious mind. And if you are feeding your subconscious mind with negative stories about your own self, you can understand what will be the outcome, right? Because life is not a bed of roses. Everyone has their own challenge. Maybe looking at me, another person may feel, oh, she is so happy, she is so peaceful, and she has everything sorted out in her life. Who knows my struggles? Who knows the battlefield of my mind? Nobody other than me, right? And if I am a person who believes that, okay, I am so much defeated in everything, I feel so fragile, I feel so helpless, and I start crying about every single thing that's happening in my life, do you think I'll ever be able to get a life which I always dream of, and that is of something positive, something peaceful? Absolutely not. I will not. I will not be able to achieve as long as I keep on feeding my mind that kind of story wherein I am a victim, wherein I am constantly blaming my situations, I'm constantly blaming my environment, the people. I keep on saying that because of this person, I, had to undergo these damages, or because of this particular situation, I could not go ahead in life. Who is the loser at the end of the day? Me, because I'm creating such stories about myself. So it becomes very important that we actually take out that kind of time and sit with ourselves and narrate the beautiful story that we are worth getting everything in life. We are worth achieving our dreams. And we should not tell a story to ourselves that, oh, you feel so defeated, oh, you're so weak. No, that is not, we need to, that is not that we are supposed to actually feed our minds. So always don't take this particular aspect for granted, that no matter what my thought process, no matter what kind of self talks I have, ultimately it is my destiny, or ultimately it is whatever the hard work that I'll do that I'm going to have the results thereof. No, not necessarily. No matter how much you work hard, no matter whatever the best things that you can get out of your own destiny, whatever is stored in for you, if your mindset is not such that maybe you will get it but you will not enjoy it, right? Possible. So it becomes very necessary that I make myself a hero in my story and not someone who is helpless. Because the more I'll give such positive uh, kind of feedback to my own mind about my own life, it will make a whole lot of difference to my lifestyle and to the way I think. We certainly take all these things for granted. Most of the times we take all these things for granted. We say it doesn't really matter what kind of self talks I have. No, think about it. Many a times we feel that we are doing well in life, or many a times we feel we are, like, completely defeated in life, and we are, we have hit the rock bottom and nothing can happen. So whatever is the kind of story that you're narrating yourself, your the entire life story that is right in front of you, whatever you are telling to yourself matters the most, rather than just leaving it up to destiny or just leaving it up to your hard work or whatever. So let us consciously practice, mindfully do this particular task during the day, and that is to narrate a beautiful story about our own selves in our mind. It really makes a difference. Try it out. Until you really experience it firsthand, you may not, believe in such concepts. So I highly recommend, I highly, encourage everyone who is listening today that please take out the time, sit with yourself and narrate the stories to yourself, that see, this was the situation that I faced, and there can be a negative aspect and a positive aspect in it. It's up to me how I take up the positive thing out of it and make myself a hero in that, or a survivor in that, rather than making myself a victim out of that situation. But that story, I need to narrate it to myself very mindfully. It really counts, because the more we come to a conclusion and kind of characterize ourselves in a particular situation, that is how our subconscious mind is going to feed about ourselves to our own self, and then we are going to manifest and get things accordingly. So if I want to achieve something positive in life, then I must make sure that whatever the situation is, I need to take out that kind of time. I need to sort out my thoughts, because it's very easy for the negative thoughts to grow first. Like as we see in a garden, it's, the weeds, they don't need any kind of care. They just come up on their own. They are, what do I call them? They are like miraculous creatures, miraculous, living things that are there, which really don't require any kind of care. They just come up. Likewise, even in our minds, the negative thoughts, they don't need any kind of efforts. They just come up. But it's up to us to pluck those weeds and throw it off. Likewise, we need to plug those negative thoughts and throw it off. So whatever is the situation, make it a point that when you are analyzing that situation in your mind, make sure that you are the hero in that story, no matter what the situation is. Maybe you're feeling very betrayed, maybe you're feeling that kind of self pity for yourself, maybe you're feeling, oh god, how did this even happen to me, I'm feeling so bad, I've literally hit the rock bottom. No matter what, believe me, no matter what, no matter how horrible the situation can be, please narrate a positive story about yourself to your own self. Sit there and tell, fine, this was the situation. Yeah, that person lied to me. The most trusted friend did not stay true to me. That person did so wrong. But I am not going to be bogged down by all such things. I am not a victim. I am a survivor. These are the kind of statements that you need to talk either loudly to yourself or maybe within your mind, but make sure that you conclude your story in the most positive way. You narrate your story in the most positive way because your subconscious mind is listening to you, and it will weave a life around that particular narrative that you're setting in your own mind about your own self. Please do not ignore this point. And yeah, through the story, I just wanted to convey that vital point that yes, it matters a lot how we talk to ourselves and how we narrate a story for ourselves. So that's all about it in today's content. I hope you liked all my thoughts and the kind of story I had to share. And please leave your feedback in the comments below if you liked it. And as always, try and be positive as much as possible in life and stay motivated no matter what. Until the next content, please take care of yourselves, and I'll be meeting you in the next content very soon. Bye. Thanks for watching this video.